Hi, everyone. Happy Manifesting Monday to you and happy Martin Luther King Day to you. I want to share with you something that's very, very simple, but has helped me a great deal. It's one of the things that I learned, like so many wonderful things I learned, at the University of Santa Monica. So when I was learning to be a counselor, they shared with us a very simple 3-step process before we sat down and did our session, before we gave or received being in a session. And it's something I use in my life a lot, and it's extremely helpful. Very, very simple, very, very helpful. A way that we can create our life in a more responsible, conscious, grounded way. So it is simply by starting with centering ourselves in ourself. So before I do anything that's important in my life, it could be a Facebook Live, it could be a radio show, it could be having lunch with a friend, it could be doing a counseling session, it could be driving to the store. Nothing is too small or too big to not do this 3-step process with. So what it starts with is centering ourselves in ourself. And to me, what that means is really pulling my energy back and connecting with my heart. You know, The Little Prince has a quote in it, it's only with the heart one sees rightly. I think when we live too much from our mind, we live in fear, we live in disconnection, we live in ego, edging God out. And it's, for me, when I drop into my heart, things become much more simple, become much more clear, much more comprehensive. So before I do anything, I center myself in myself. The second step is to set your intentions. So say, for instance, today I'm getting ready to do my Facebook Live and hang out with you. I center myself, I set my intentions to connect with my friends, to connect with my heart from my friends, and hopefully speak in a way that is clear, concise, in a way that is helpful for anybody that's hanging out with us here. And then the third step is to invite Spirit in for the highest good of all concerned. So to center oneself in oneself, to set their intentions, and then to invite Spirit in for the highest good of all concerned. And all of us can do this. Hi, Elaine. How are you, sweetie? Love to you, too. We can do this in our own way. We can make it our own process. And again, nothing is too small or too large to use this process with. And I know for me, I've gotten a lot of trouble when I have not been grounded. My biggest, I think, I would call them mistakes or challenges or hurts or heartbreaks occurred because I wasn't centered. I was not grounded. I spun out on a stiletto a couple years ago and cracked my tailbone. Definitely because I wasn't grounded. 4 or 5 years ago, and I got a kind of a bad car wreck. My fault. I wasn't grounded. So before I get in my car and drive anywhere, I like to center myself. I like to ground myself. I like to set my intentions. So for instance, if I'm driving, I want to get to my destination safely. And I always like to add grace and ease. Those are a couple qualities that I think are really lovely to include with anything and everything that we do. I personally love to live in peace, grace, and ease. Are you cold, Maggie Sellers? I'm cold too. I'm actually in Las Vegas. I expected it to be a little bit warmer here. It's not. 50s, windy. It's a little bit treacherous, but heading back to Idaho in a little while where I think the weather's going to be very similar. So again, as we center ourselves and we ground ourselves, to me, this means just being more present. 0. Okay, that's worse. You win. To be more present in our lives, to be grounded, present, peaceful, and live from the heart, I think is extremely important. You know, Eckhart Tolle talks about the power of now. How do we do that? We pull our energy back. I think so many of us are rushing towards something. We're not really in alignment. We're not living from our heart. We're not grounded. We're not connected. We're not present. At least I haven't been when I've gotten in trouble. As I live more from this centered, grounded, aligned way, life seems to work with, again, a lot more grace and ease, which again, it tends to be a pretty consistent intention. So when we center ourselves in our hearts and ground ourselves, then we set our intentions for whatever it is that we want. And if we don't set our intentions in a conscious way, Again, we can live our lives more from an unconscious way, which tends to be more painful, more confusing. So to me, grounding, setting intentions, inviting spirit in for the highest good of all concerned. And I really love that part of it. To me, it supports me in relaxing. There is a force that's taking care of the planets and the seasons and the weather, even if it's cold, and it can be our partner in our lives. And I've found as I trust that force more and more, as I've cultivated that faith, things seem to fall into place with a lot more clarity, grace, and ease. I don't have to rely on my own understanding, and it's such an incredible relief. Hi, Tonda Balashevsky Mason. What are you doing? I miss you. Why aren't you over here? So it's a very, very simple 3-step process that can be used for anything. Anytime something's important, anytime something matters, if you're connecting with a friend, if you're connecting with somebody you haven't seen in a long time, if you're stressed about having a conversation, if there's something you're worried about or you have trepidation about, just remember to center yourself in yourself, set your intentions, invite spirit in for the highest good of all concerned. If you can take 30 seconds or a minute to do this prior to embarking upon a conversation or driving to the store or doing anything that you think is important, it really is a way of being very responsible with creating your life in a conscious and intentional way. And I love the word responsibility, the ability to respond. And if we're centered and we're grounded and we're aligned, and if we've invited that something greater to partner with us and co-create with us, what I've found is even if strange things happen, weird things happen, my ability to respond in a more wise, mature, conscious, grounded way, it happens effortlessly. It happens easily. So again, this is a super simple process that, again, I was introduced to when I became a counselor, and it's a wonderful way, I think, to facilitate or begin any kind of counseling session, but it's also a wonderful way to do almost anything. You can do this before you cook a meal. Center yourself, set your intentions to create a meal made with a lot of love that maybe other people get to enjoy with you. Invite spirit in for the highest good of all concerned. So I would just say experiment with this and play with it and have fun with it. The more I've done it, the more I find that there's something very magical about this. Again, we live on a planet of free will and choice, and we can choose to invite that something greater to partner with us and co-create with us, or we can do it on our own. And the more I've done it on my own, the more I have made mistakes, tripped up, fallen down, maybe made decisions that I later have regretted. So again, super simple process. You can start your day this way. Wake up in the morning, center yourself in yourself, set your intentions, invite spirit in for the highest good of all concerned. Simple process that can support you in countless ways. So I don't know if this is something that can support you like it has me, but I suspect if you play with it, you experiment with it, you will find it to be helpful, simple, and supportive. And I would love to hear from you about your experience or experiment with this. So again, just know you are in my heart and prayers. I'll be back in my Idaho office next week. Right now I'm in my Vegas office. It's very purple and sparkly, as most things are. My fireplace out there, I don't know if you can see it. It's very cozy and snug in here. And it's a very sweet environment. And again, this is a process I used through creating this house, centering myself, setting my intentions to create this home with beauty and peace and joy. So whatever qualities you want more of in your life, center yourself, set those intentions, and invite spirit in. And I think you're going to feel the wind at your back. I think you're going to find that you are inviting support from angels seen and unseen, and you will witness synchronicity and miracles. And when you do, all you have to do is say thank you. And that keeps the door open to inviting more grace and synchronicity and wind at the back and go with the flow experiences in your life. So let me know if you play with this process and how it works for you if you do. And know that you are my heart, my meditation, and my prayers, and I want the very, very best for you. If there's anything I can do to support you, please let me know. I will gift you some guided meditations, and I will also be available for prayer requests. Anything I can do to support you in getting to higher ground, because I think that's what we're doing here. We're here to grow as souls and get to higher ground as loving, conscious beings. That's my intention, and if it's yours, you're my spiritual pathmate, and I'm incredibly honored. So God bless you. Take good, gentle care of yourself. Center yourself often, set your intentions frequently, invite spirit in consistently, and I suspect and am confident that your life is going to work for you with a lot more peace, grace, ease, and joy. So God bless you. Onward and upward. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.